When you're a little girl, you got baby dolls, and your brother got trucks. Why is that? I'll tell you why. Because us as a society socialize into gender norms. We see women as caregivers and men as power leaders. Because of this, we tend to speak differently to each other. Gendered communication styles are described as masculine culture is more task-oriented and feminine culture is more relationship-oriented. Each gender has values and needs that are expressed through communication. So we have different genderlects, or distant ways of communicating that are similar to dialect. To understand each other, we have to consider our own and others' values and our unique standpoints, or the positions we occupy in society, and how that affects what we know. One way to understand the genderlect styles is to understand the difference between messages and meta-messages. Masculine genderlect includes a focus on messages, which is what is actually said or done. Feminine genderlect includes a focus on meta-messages, which is the underlying meaning of a message. Females also seek to build rapport or personal connections. Men focus on tasks or relaying information known as report. Women seek human connection, which is friendships, intimacy, true solidarity, communion. Men are concerned with status, independence, hierarchy, competitive accomplishment, achievement. Women talk more in private for connection to disclose details of life. Men talk more in public to command attention to convey information. Women tell stories about others, downplay themselves, desire for community. Men tell more stories than women, especially jokes, and focus on themselves. Women actually listen and ask questions. Nonverbals are used when listening to acknowledge, I'm listening. Questions establish connection. Men listen but don't ask questions. Nonverbals are not used because it would mean I agree with you. Questions are not asked to preserve self-sufficiency and self-respect. Women avoid conflict, which is threat to connection. Men initiate conflict, more comfortable with conflict. Male-female conversation is cross-cultural communication. That masculine and feminine styles of disclosure are best viewed as two distinct cultural dialects, rather than as inferior or superior ways of speaking. The problem is, miscommunication between men and women is all the more insidious because the parties usually don't realize that they are in the cross-culture encounter. The solution for this is they believe that both men and women need to learn how to speak in others' voices. Mutual understanding will bridge the cultural gap between sexes. Some people think that you have masculine and feminine style based on your gender. Males aren't the only ones with masculine communication style. As we have grown as a society, we have seen that women are now taking on the role as power leaders, and some men are becoming caretakers. This isn't an even case though. The majority of masculine style people are men and feminine are women. This being said, we need to close the gap between the two. And social media is not helping with the divide because a woman can post something and get bashed for it, and a man can post the same thing and get praised for it. This being said, women need to learn assertiveness training and men need to learn sensitive training. We need to focus primarily on what people say and how they say it and what they mean when they say it, no matter the gender. Women and men are different, but that doesn't mean the way we communicate should change. Women may take things to a different level in sensitivity, but men can take it the same way. Some women stand tall for themselves and some don't. With this being said, the genderlect theory really helps us understand the divide and help us realize that it doesn't matter what gender you are, it matters on how you present yourself, whether you are a person that asks questions or a person that just sits and listens. But either way, the gender is a part of society and is determining how we talk to each other. With that being said, that's all for today. Thank you.